Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across our beloved empire. I may be scarred and deformed, but I assure you, my will has never been stronger. You guys have to ask you, why do I look like a rebel terrorist right now? Oh, Alderaan, you're my only hope. Well, let me tell you, this weekend, 1 year anniversary with the lady of the Star Destroyer. And guess what wedding anniversary gift she got me? She got me the Rona. So right now, we're in the back to tank healing clothing right now. And you know what we're gonna do? I'm still feeling dang good. We're gonna be talking about a question I've been getting a lot. Should I be panic farming the Inquisitors? We gotta talk about these guys because unlike the Rona, they're not quite being the infectious bunch inside of Star Wars Galaxy. So we're gonna do a little bit of news roundup. We're gonna talk about the Inquisitors. We're gonna talk about the Farmboy Luke Omicron. Yeah, it kind of flew under the radar. He did get Omicron and it's gonna get nerfed already. And I got some Grand Arena gameplay that we're gonna be rolling for you guys since I didn't stream yesterday since I wanted to spend time getting sick with the lady to Star Destroyer. So we got a lot of stuff in here, but before we do that, I gotta go cough all over Gary. So watch this ad break. Ha! Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across the galaxy, we got a birthday in the house! And it's our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. 2 years ago, Raid started off with some cool character art and an idea where it is now the #1 RPG in the US with over 1 million players daily. And Raid wants to personally thank you for all of the support they've had over the years. To celebrate Raid's 3rd year anniversary, we're giving away a ton of new stuff to new and current players. All new and existing players can get a bunch of free gifts. Hit my link in the description or scan my QR code. Enter the promo code 3YearsRaid to get your hands on worth over $25. And if you're a new player, and you'll get a special huge B-Day package worth over $40, 3 champions, and tons of resources. All this treasure will be waiting for you right up here, but you gotta be quick because these rewards are only available for the next 30 days. All right, Gary, let's go roll some gameplay. It's a shame we didn't stream this past Grand Arena because let me tell you, the off-meta counters were on point and it was absolutely beautiful. But nonetheless, we got the footage to roll for you guys. Our opponent was in What a Doofer, and man, it was pretty darn amazing. But although we're running some Grand Arena gameplay from this past missed stream, we gotta talk about these guys. If you guys missed it, Fifth Brother was confirmed earlier last week. We're gonna have the kit reveal sometime this week, and the event's gonna be rolling here later on, probably around Thursday of April 28th. But the question I've been getting a lot is, should I be panic farming the Inquisitorius right now to get the Grand Inquisitor? Because it's been a long time since we've had a classic. It's not quite classic. A classic legendary event. The only thing classic about this legendary event that's returning is the small window of opportunity to get this character, the Grand Inquisitor, before it disappears for who knows how many months, and then it's going to come back. And then usually how these legendary events work is 1 year after their release, they're permanently added inside the journey guide. But until then, there's this aspect of, I don't know when it's going to come back. Am I going to miss out big time? Unlike the Star Killer requirements, unfortunately, these Inquisitorius members, at least as of now, jury's out. We'll let you guys know later on this week, but I always tell people there's really no need to panic in this game unless you're so hell-bent, so desperate to stay at the very top of the meta every time it's evolving. And furthermore, on top of that, I don't know as of now if the Inquisitors are even going to be moving the meta in any forward momentum, at least in terms of Grand Arena. And that's the one thing I gotta mention, because Territory Wars, as we know, the Inquisitors are meant to be a Territory Wars team that's supposed to go toe-to-toe with some sort of specific galactic legend Jedi. I don't know which one they're talking about. But even so, Territory Wars right now, if we're just assuming that they're going to be amazing in Territories, they might be just meh outside of Territories. I mean, the only baseline litmus test that I maybe have is Starkiller. Pretty solid in Grand Arena. As you guys saw a few moments ago, we took on Raid with the help of the Ninth Sister. It's really the only shining member of the Inquisitors, but outside of Grand Arena, it's Starkiller's not nearly as insane. So there might be a chance it's going to be great in Territories. That Inquisitors might be maybe a B, C+ team inside of Grand Arena. Who knows? They might be solid, especially with the Fifth Brother introducing fear inside of the Inquisitorius team. That might elevate it to something a bit more, dare I say, interesting and actually useful. Because right now, if you know, at least a Starkiller, you had things like, for example, Mara Jade, fantastic. Kyle Katarn, fantastic. Dash and Dar, fantastic. Talent, you know, you can find uses for her You can't quite say the same, unfortunately, for the Inquisitors members right now. There's really not a home for them until we get the full entire team together. And right now, the 9th Sister is kind of the shining unit. 7th Sister right now is, I say it's an honorable mention. I can find uses out of them. The health protect recovery is quite nice, and the buff dispels. 8th Brother and 2nd Sister, not really a whole lot going on. So really, at the end of the day, should you be panic farming them? Even if it was for Grand Arena, I can't tell you guys with a heart full of confidence that this is where you should be dumping your hard-earned resources into right now. Of course, when Grand Inquisitor comes out, I assume sometime in May we'll be doing lots of testing. Then you can make an assumption for maybe the second time it comes on. But right now, if this isn't going to be a top 10-ish Grand Arena team, I don't really see the necessary push for it. Especially, yes, Kenobi's amazing. He's insane inside of territories. We already have plenty of ways to counter Jedi Master Kenobi. Now, in case you missed it, one more note that we got to talk before moving forward. In case you missed, we already broke this down in the video. It's called the Legendary Event, but they're redefining what Legendary Event means now. It's no longer going to be 5-star unlocks. You're going to need Relic 5, which it's absolutely insane that they can alter the deal when it comes to Legendaries, but they can't alter the deal when it comes to maybe rolling out those gear updates a little bit more, maybe adding better ways to farm ships that are kind of old inside the game that still take way too long to farm. I don't want to start this rant all over again. We talked about it a while ago. I am not a fan of them changing what the definition of legendary events were, because those were so special to me. I loved you going in with bare minimums, trying to get as far as possible. The only logical argument I could see, I actually don't want to give them this cop out. Maybe they're worried about cheating, because now you have to have Relic 5 to at least get it. Before, there's probably some cheaters that kind of did bare minimum gear and they're able to use APKs or whatever to squeeze on through. Don't you dare use it as an excuse, Siege. We know that's not your prime intention. But anyways, although we're talking about primarily territory wars and Grand Arena, they are making this faction a bit more needed. But I think it's so temporary. Conquest, I assume the next three conquest cycles, there might be something that says inflict X amount of purge, or use X amount of Inquisitors, or get so many kills with the Inquisitors. I don't know if that's going to be a big enough incentive to push for the Inquisitors if it's only going to be for 3 conquests or so. And usually you don't need to do all the feats, so you can skip out on the Inquisitors and do something else. Assault battles, yeah, you know what, they're going to be a couple of assault battles that might have some good gear, but assault battles are already kind of, at least the same if assault battle isn't a super frequent event. I don't think that's enough incentive. Galactic challenges, all right, fine. Like the Mandalorians, you might miss out on a couple galactic challenges, but as long as you're able to get like the 3rd crate, you should be fine. And then of course the legendary event, as we talked about, the Grand Inquisitor, you're gonna need these guys. I don't know if this is really enough incentive for you guys to go out of your way to push for. I'm not a fan of the team right now. Maybe the 5th brother will make a bigger difference, but even so, I don't quite see the importance of the Territory Wars game mode, not to the same extent as Grand Arena. And although they're trying to make the Inquisitors more exciting by adding them in more game modes, it's so temporary, especially with Conquest and Galactic challenges. I don't think that's enough incentive to move your Inquisitor farm forward. But what we got to talk about next is Farmboy Luke. Now, I didn't make a video on it. Well, kind of like what we've been saying. I don't care about territories nearly as much. It's just you don't need really. There's a couple, of course. There's a couple of them. Mara Jade's fantastic. Omicron. Captain Phasma's pretty solid. What other ones? Mace Windu. Oh boy, Mace Windu is even crazier. I might have a video out later on this week finally talking about that. It was so good, my guild didn't want me talking about it for the whole entire month of April. That's how good it was. But otherwise, there really wasn't a lot of need to get so many territory Omicrons, and especially because the territory meta is not nearly as wide as Grand Arena. Grand Arena is a wide meta that we have right now. Territory is it's a bit narrow, it's a bit smaller. I don't quite see the purpose of the Farmboy Luke Omicron. They're going to be adding it's already in game, but they're going to be nerfing it here soon because, well, let's just say they didn't do proper testing. Come on, you guys should already know this right about now. Although it is quite an interesting one, Farmboy Luke Omicron. It's indirectly needed for a galactic legend, that being Jedi Master Luke. More so needed to get Commander Luke Skywalker, but most have him at gear 8 just to get through the CLS, but there really hasn't been a need to get up and running. He's got no ship, he's not a fantastic character, he doesn't really have a team that I could sit in properly. However, they added an Omicron to the kit here, and well, I don't even know if that's really worth talking about it that much, because this Omicron kit is going to change. I don't know how they didn't test it out. But anyways, here we go. In case you missed it, the Omicron is Territory Wars only. Luke gains 30% defense, max health, and tenacity at the start of each of his turns. Luke gains 10% defense and offense stacking until the end of the encounter. Whenever Luke scores a critical during his turns, he attacks again, limited once per turn. When Luke is prevented from using the ability during his turn, he recovers 50% health and protection. So the most interesting thing that was associated with this whole thing is the possibility of getting repetitive critical hits on the basic. And I don't know how the developers missed it. I understand there's a lot of possible combination of ways to test. But usually if you're going to release a Rebel Omicron, there's only a couple of Rebel leaders that kind of make sense to look into, such as, Wedge. Wedge lead. It's been a long time, but Wedge's lead grants 10% turn on a critical hit. Wedge lead was absolutely phenomenal back in the day with Biggs, Wedge, Stormtrooper Han. My gosh, what a gnarly team that was back in the day. But for some reason, they didn't quite test it out for whatever odd reason. So they're going to be nerfing it. The community had to point out that there's a little bit of an interaction. They don't want infinite turn meter loop with Farmboy Luke or anything for that matter at the end of the day here. So I guess we'll see what they end up doing with it. Otherwise, kind of a weird week. I don't know if this Omicron's worth it for territories. If it was Grand Arena, I'd be a little bit more tempted. But it's kind of a weird spot right now. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but if you take a look at the Omicrons we've got added to the game, there's definitely a heavy bias, more so, if you think about it, to territory wars. Take a look at this really quick before we hop over. It makes me wonder if maybe they're going to do something with territories to make it more lucrative, to make it more exciting. I mean, take a look at this. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And over here we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Now, to be fair, there's a heavy bias on these Omicrons, on the Inquisitors right now. And they did mention, in case you missed this as well, we're going to be getting a rework to the Inquisitors and to kind of tie them all together. We don't exactly know what they're going to do to tie them together more, but I think they can tell that, they're not really performing that great right now. Some more details on that, but there's definitely more of a bias towards territory wars. Man, I didn't even realize only 4 territory battle Omicrons. Holy cow. But nonetheless, it's just really hard to tell you guys. The panic farm the Inquisitors. Just wait. I'm sure life's going to go on if you don't get the Inquisitors up and running for the first time. The Grand Inquisitor comes around. I assume 2-3 months down the road, it'll reappear again. And who knows, maybe it'll be a little bit closer there. But unless they do something that really makes you say, oh crap, I got to get my territory Omicrons and teams in line, I don't quite know if it's something you need to be worrying about all that much. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of peace of mind during our little Inquisitor talk that, you know what? There's not a huge need to be pushing for these guys right now. I know it's been a while since we had a legendary event, and for the most part, legendaries, you at least wanted to get them at 5 stars. Well, now 5 stars is out of the question. It's unfortunate. I hate that. Here's the thing, CG. I'm gonna send this out to you. I get you gotta make money. There's no fault in that. You want to make money. The worst thing is when they try to spin it and they treat us like we're children, that we can't read between the lines from CG. It's like, come on, just be straightforward. Just say, hey, you know what? Times have changed. We want to have a bare minimum. Heck, even throw the excuse out there that you want to avoid cheating and hacking. I don't know, anything like that, but I hate when they treat us like idiots. I know I might be a little moronic, but I can still kind of see the picture as a whole. But until then, don't you worry about me, the Rona. It's not going to do much to this cybernetic body that we're in. Leave that like, comment down below your thoughts on the Inquisitorious. Hopefully I'm feeling up to date and up to snuff for the next Grandard. But you guys know me. Until we meet again, always remember that it's great to be in the Empire today.